This college baseball game, and we said so much this year to our team. It takes all kinds. And, certainly today was one of those pitching and defensive type games, and not a better guy for us on the mound than Will Etheridge to pitch in that type of game. I said it to the team, and we've said it for a while that there's a lot of people that get a lot of credit, from our team, but probably the guy that is least talked about and deserves as much credit as anybody for our season is Will. He's just been tremendous on Friday, and deserves a better record. But besides his record, if you look at the rest of the statistics, he's been tremendous. And today was just another, I think, chapter, this year of how well he's really pitched. And of course, a couple of timely hits. By us, and then of course Ryan, it just shows you what kind of a competitor he is. Our local beat writers have seen him now for 4 years, and he's terrific. On the big stage, the big moments, he's terrific. So, questions for the players now? Starting from
Will, coming off a short rest and coming into this game, did you prepare any differently, or did you feel pretty normal? I guess you could say going into it. Did you know you had your good stuff?
I pretty much had to prepare like I was every outing, and just treat this almost like I was throwing a bullpen, but it's actually going to be a game. I just had to keep beating. I don't like put up zeros, and I can't get them done without my defense. We're making big goal plays with Bray and Ole, and that was big helping out to get off the field.
Ryan, a couple of saves in a row now for you. What have you done to prepare for this closer role? It seems like you're starting to inhabit a little bit, and how's it feel being out there at the end of the game?
Not much. I don't know. Just throw strikes. You just have the mentality to just throw strikes, and that's you just prepare like you would for anything. It feels good to be out there. Love being out there, getting the opportunity to do it, and just try to take advantage of it.
Parrish offered with the Daily Journal Tupelo. Ryan, you were ahead in the count, hit the first guy. Just talk about the emotions of getting that leadoff man on and then rallying past that a little bit.
Just backed up a slider, tried to throw it too hard, and you see it happen all the time. You try to do too much, and that's what happens. So it was nothing really changed different. Just on first, went from the stretch, and just go right back at it. Felt the zone.
Ryan, I know you had a couple of days off, but did you feel all right recovery-wise from Saturday to today?
Yes.
Will, how is it from your point of view, a full-time pitcher, to see someone come in from center like Ryan's doing and close out games efficiently?
He's just a competitor out there. He's going to do whatever it takes to get guys out, and whether that's going to be making down the plays and turning over plays from center field, or getting on the mound and throwing 90 miles per hour down the middle and see if we can get guys out there. He's just a great competitor. He's big for us.
Any more questions for the players? Thank you, guys. You guys are so good. All right, we'll take questions now for Coach Mike Deal. Start in front, Coach.
Mike, when did you know you were going to use Ryan if you got into a safe situation?
Say that one more time.
When did you know you were going to use Ryan in a safe situation, or is that just kind of going by the game?
Probably around the 7th. We knew that we could use him, but didn't know how the bullpen was going to shake out today, because you get 7 innings out of Will, and that's huge. And anytime I have a starter, but so much debate about the short rest, but and it's shorter than we're used to, but I don't think it's extremely short. It's what they would do in pro baseball, but it's still, again, it's short, and you're just not sure with the heat and where the bullpen's going to lead you at that point. We had Carisi down loose, ready to go if we couldn't get to the 9th, but at some point I said, we got to see what Ryan can do another day in the 9th, and so that was a long answer to probably around the 7th inning when we knew how it was kind of coming together.
How do the in-game logistics work with Ryan warming up? I think we saw him when you guys were batting in the 8th inning, throwing out in the bullpen, and then he goes back out to center. How does that work from just getting him ready?
And that's another factor. One of the things, most position players don't warm up like pitchers. It doesn't. there's just not this big pop and circumstance where they got to go through. They just don't know how to do that. They just grab the ball and throw, but they have to get loose. And so we haven't had a lot of guys like that. We've had a couple of dual guys, and so he ran, down one time where Thomas was leading off. Ryan's fifth in the lineup. He said, "I'm going to go down. I can get some throws in now." On Saturday, Tennessee, he warmed up with Dillard in the outfield, like you would in Little League. He's in center field, and in between innings, Dillard's squatting down. He's a catcher, and Ryan's letting it go. And so I don't think it's as big a deal to those position players. I think if you did it to a normal reliever, a normal pitcher, it would really disrupt their routine. But for those guys, I don't think it's necessary.
Mike, I think that's 5 scoreless outings in a row for Myers. You talked yesterday a little bit about the bullpen kind of struggling of lately. Do you feel like you're getting closer to that with he and Roth being good lately?
Yeah, and I think sometimes when you look at it, it comes at, is it half full or half empty, type of thing. Because there is some guys like Myers, like Ryan, that have done really well. Some of them, I don't know if the blame necessarily all goes on one guy. Sometimes when you're looking at it, it seems like it, but you don't really know if the cross-up was really whose fault it was. Was it the catcher? Was it the pitcher? Was it not some plays? And so sometimes we have to evaluate it a little differently than just the result. What happened. And one of the things over the last few weeks when you look at the pen, some of the struggles, there's been some weird things from rain to 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th and nobody on, and a couple weak base hits, and then 3 home runs in a row where wow, that stuff just doesn't happen. And so again, it doesn't mean that it's not real, and that those results don't count. So I think for us, we got to continue to evaluate. I've said it bunches, but it's true. As well as Ryan's been, we need all those pieces to get through a regional. We're going to need Caracci, we're going to need Miller, and you'll see those guys tomorrow. Hopefully, at the end of the game. But we're going to need a lot more than just Ryan.
What'd you like situationally there, bunny Gray? Something you don't necessarily always do there, and then
but in that game where it just seemed every run was at such a premium, and he is as good a hitter as we got. I know it's left on left with Keenan and Zabowski, but at the end of the day, Keenan is just an RBI machine, and you just want to give him opportunities to drive in runs, and so that's really what it came down to. We're comfortable with those guys. Those guys handle left-handers. I don't feel insecure when there's a left-hander in the game, and Keenan and Zabowski are going to the plate.
You obviously have coached a lot of SEC tournaments before. What is the protocol like? What is the procedure for preparing for such a quick turnaround? How do you get the guys ready for another game?
It's one of the things we talked in the pregame. And this game is a nightmare. This game is, when you talk about pressure. But one of the things that we talked about in the pregame is really the season's divided up into 3, different seasons. The beginning of the season, February 15th, you're playing Wright State, and everybody's just excited to either start a new season or to play college baseball for the first time. Then the next season really becomes SEC play, where now that you played 4 weeks, now this is why you really came here, for these 30 games, these 10 weeks. And then the season ends, and then you get to something like this for the first time. Think about it, for the first time all year, they had to play a game. If they lost, it was over, you go home. Normally, you get to play again, right? If you lose, it's over. Tomorrow, it'll be you win, you play at a certain time, you lose, you play at a certain time, you don't have to figure out. So it's that tournament type of baseball, and it'll be like that the rest of the way. And so, to me, that's what makes this time so special. It's so much different than what they do, throughout the year. You talk about being present. That's why it's so huge and so important.
Mike, that's 7 hits, I think, in 3 games for Thomas in the leadoff spot. What have you liked about that, and what do you think is different?
Well, I think one of the things and the reason for the move, I think we were getting a little stale there, and as good as Thomas is, he wasn't driving in runs, in the middle, and he walks so much and he doesn't clog the bases. He's a base runner. He can take an extra base. He can steal bases. And so I just thought one day, if you're going to walk him, let's put him up at the top and let him walk and let him steal, let him set the table for Kessinger, Keenan, Zabowski, Olenek, and those guys. And if they choose to pitch to him, then that's great. Then he can hit an extra base hit and really get anything going. So I don't think it's rocket science, but that was the thought process. Was really to jumpstart. Maybe he'll get some more pitches. If he walks, then great. One more, coach.
Mike, we've had 2 games here, both go down to the last pitch. Florida and Missouri are going home. There'll be a lot of discussion about their resumes. Could this be the first year, should this be the first year the SEC sends 11 to the NCAA tournament?
I think so. And to me, what's wrong about college baseball is that question. If you look at that Missouri team, or even Florida for that matter, that Missouri team can win a regional without a doubt. With those arms that they have, they would be one of the scariest teams in a regional because of their arms. For some reason, our sports like that, I have not figured it out. You look at softball, they take all 13. Why? Because they deserve it. You look at basketball, it is cut and dry. They take the best teams. They don't say, well, why are we going to take another team from a certain conference? They take the best teams. Well, why wouldn't we take another team from this conference? I think at the end of the day, you take that's the committee. Those 10 people, their job is to take the best teams. Yeah, you use the metrics, right? And that's fine. But don't use the metrics just to discount people's season. To me, they go back and forth just to justify things. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be talking about, should it be a record you should be talking, is Missouri good enough to be in a regional? Is Florida good enough? Not are they going to break a record and should that be okay? What should be okay and what's really a crime is if they're good enough, but they're not taken because somebody didn't want to take 11 teams. That's a shame, and that's what's wrong with our game, not just in the selection, but a lot of different things with our game where people think that's okay, to keep a team from a regional just because we don't want to take another team from a league. That's not okay. Thanks, Billy. Appreciate you.